You may have noticed that when water flows at low pressure from a faucet, it does not simply fall out of the faucet, but rather it drips in the form of droplets. What is it that holds liquid water in individual drops? How can water be in little enclosed pockets? It is as if water drops are surrounded by an invisible wrap holding the water in place. But how does this occur? Has this mechanism been put in place by a brilliant engineer? Or is it by mere chance? Let us look at what happens when water is poured on a flat table surface. You would expect water, as it is liquid, to seep off the edges of the table until nothing remains. But we know from experimentation and from everyday observation that water does not entirely sweep off the edges. Droplets of water will remain on the wet surface, each one like a little pile of sand that has formed on the table. As we know that liquids must be contained, you would expect water to spread off the edges of the table, but some water remains as if it was held in a non-existent container. But how? How do water particles climb on top of one another and stick together without anything to contain them? How does water defy gravity? How can this physically occur? In order for water particles to climb on top of one another to form drops, there must be a substance or a force allowing water to defy gravity and allowing it to hold itself in the form of drops. The answer? It is important for us to understand how water works, since we and all living things alike are made of water. Does this matter to us? Yes, it does greatly. It is important to our lives and it is important to our relationship with Allah for us to understand His creation. Observe these water droplets. Without their distinct characteristics, neither you nor me would exist. These little droplets hold the key to life on earth. This physical law that Allah has put in place to allow water particles to climb on top of one another to form water drops is essential to understanding life on earth. How does this law work? Water's many properties include its remarkable surface tension, due to the strong intermolecular force which holds water's molecules together. This force of tension allows water particles to align and stick to each other to form a strong outer shell holding water in the form of drops. This tension creates a strong invisible wrap, allowing some small creatures, such as insects, to even walk on the surface of water. Before continuing further, we must explore another property of water, known as capillarity, another one of water's astonishing properties. What is capillarity? We see here two test tubes, one of a large diameter and the other one of a smaller diameter. When such test tubes, open on both sides like a straw, are placed in water, we observe that water will flow upwards within the test tube, without the need of any pumping or suction. In a test tube of a smaller diameter, this phenomenon is accentuated as we see a great rise in the water level within the tube. Interestingly, this behavior is not observed in all liquids. As a matter of fact, we see a drop in surface level when a tube is inserted in mercury, for example. Water, however, has a tendency to flow through channels. The smaller the diameter of a tube, the more we can observe water seeping within. This property is far from trivial. It is of great importance to us humans as well as all living things. Interestingly, this behavior is not observed in all liquids. As a matter of fact, we see a drop in surface level when a tube is inserted in mercury, for example. Water, however, has a tendency to flow through channels. The smaller the diameter of a tube, the more we can observe water seeping within. This property is far from trivial. It is of great importance to us animals, as well as all living things. What would happen if water had not these distinct characteristics? Would it affect our lives? Certainly more than you may think. Without water's high surface tension and capillarity, your blood would not flow through the tiniest blood vessels in your body. Some blood vessels have a diameter of 3 microns. That is 3 millionth of a meter. The forces of surface tension and capillarity are what allows blood to seep through our microscopic blood vessels. And these properties are crucial for all organisms with blood circulation, but also for plants and other living things as well. And these properties are crucial for all organisms with blood circulation, but also for plants and other living things as well. Have you ever wondered what force allows plants to push through the soil and grow upwards despite the force of gravity? It is water which allows plants to grow vertically upwards due to the high surface tension and capillarity in water substance. Without these properties of water, there would be no vegetation and no life on Earth. That tiny droplet is indeed key to our existence. Science has allowed humans to truly appreciate the miracles of Allah's creation, from the grandeur of life on Earth to the tiniest droplets of water which sustain it. In the words of Allah, "In yourselves there are signs, will you not then see?" All earthly life is sustained from water. Allah says, "And all living creatures are made of water. Will they not then believe?" Are there other substances that have higher surface tension than water? Yes, many do. Tar, oil, solids, just to name a few. However, they lack water's distinct viscosity, which is also important to sustain life on Earth. Particles of solid matter or oil, for example, cannot flow through the stems of tree leaves nor through your delicate blood vessels. In order for you to exist, and for all life to be sustained, both water's strong surface tension and capillarity, along with its low viscosity, are needed simultaneously. We are an impressive 70% water. A newborn baby is 90% water. Have you ever wondered why so? And in the words of Allah, "And all living creatures are made of water, will they not then believe?" Indeed, we have believed undeniably, and we hope not to be among they who have not esteemed Allah His true esteem.